What is up, football fans? What is up, Ravens flock? Welcome to the Third Bowl. I'm your host, Devin Welsh. And today we're going to be talking about some very good news. If you are a member of the Ravens, if you are a member of the Ravens flock, if you are a Ravens fan, yesterday we heard some good news. OBJ will be taking his talents to Baltimore, Maryland. OBJ signed a one-year deal with the Ravens yesterday worth up to $18 million, right? It's a hefty price tag for a 31-year-old wide receiver. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. And in today's show, we're also going to be talking about why this move is great for the team, great for the fans, great for the organization, great for Lamar. And also, I'm just going to remind everybody of what OBJ is capable of when he's in a Todd Monken-led offense. So that's going to be today's show. Let's get into it. All right, so like I was saying, yesterday afternoon, it was announced by the NFL, Ian Rappaport, that Odell Beckham Jr., OBJ, signed a one-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens worth up to $18 million. And OBJ announced this by posting a super cute picture of his son in a Lamar Jackson jersey and a Ravens hat, and the caption said, "Flock," right? And shortly thereafter, Lamar posted to his IG story a screenshot he had taken of him speaking with OBJ via FaceTime. So, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I feel very good about this. It was kind of, I don't want to say expected, but, EDC and the Ravens needed to make a kind of a splash move at wide receiver for a multitude of reasons, right? But, number one, first and foremost, we needed to add to that wide receiver room. Everybody knew it. OBJ, he looks the part. If anybody saw his recent workout, he looks the part. He looks like he still has a lot of gas left in the tank. And I'm feeling very good about this. I think this is going to be a great move that lures Lamar Jackson. Maybe not lures, but keeps Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Real quick, I do want to talk about the details of his contract. So I looked it up, and here are the details, right? So it's a base salary of $1.165 million. I believe that's the vet minimum, right? A $13.8 million signing bonus, right? And $3 million in incentives. I also read that there are multiple void years included in the contract that helps lower the cap hit for this year, right? Otherwise, it would be $15 million for this year. It's going to be spread out over a couple years. I'm not too sure the exact details of the voided years in the contract. I will try to get that information, try to post it on my Twitter. But with all that being said, it's at least $15 million for a 31-year-old wide receiver named Odell Beckham Jr., who arguably has, the best, most memorable catch in NFL history. And he still looks like he has a lot left in the tank, like I was saying. He looks good. He looks good. And in my next part, I'm going to talk about how Todd Monken is involved in this. Let's check it out. All right, so enter Todd Monken, right? So the Baltimore Ravens' newest offensive coordinator, Todd Monken, for those of you who don't remember, he was the offensive coordinator for the Georgia Bulldogs, the national championship winning back-to-back last 2 years. The high-powered offense that propelled them to win those championships, it was led by Todd Monken, right? Last 3 years, he was the offensive coordinator for the Bulldogs, the Georgia Bulldogs. But prior to that, he was the offensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns. Now, who was the wide receiver one in Cleveland back when Todd Monken was the offensive coordinator? Well, it was OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., right? And Odell arguably had his greatest, or one of his greatest receiving, in terms of receiving yards, seasons there, while Todd Monken was the offensive coordinator. His last 1,000-yard season was with the Browns, with Todd Monken as the offensive coordinator, right? I think this is great. Now let's look at how everything kind of rolls together, right? How everything rolls together. We have a brand new offensive coordinator named Todd Monken who runs a pro-style offense, which is exactly the style offense that Lamar Jackson wanted, right? Or wants, or ran in college and had a lot of success with and wish he could have brought over. It was a little bit different when he got Greg Roman as the offensive coordinator, but it's the style of offense that he prefers, right? So we got Todd Monken doing that, right? Wide receiver room was in shambles. Baltimore made a huge push. Some say overpaid for Odell Beckham Jr., but we went out and got Odell Beckham Jr., who was probably going to be our wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. It depends how we're going to slate it with Bateman, who's, when healthy and when they're both on the field. But Ravens went and did that, right? And also I saw reports today that said Lamar was instrumental in bringing Odell to the Ravens, right? So why would Lamar be pulling OBJ to the Ravens if he's just going to be dipping out, right? So when we look at all these things, I think this is just so great. I think a lot of questions were answered today and yesterday with just the news that the Ravens signed Odell Beckham Jr., right? Lamar's definitely going to be playing with us next year. I would bet my house on it. Lamar will be playing with the Ravens next year, 100%. We have OBJ. We got Nelson Aguilar. I have to mention him from SC. I'm an SC guy. So add healthy Bateman. We go and draft some, JSN. Ooh, Jordan Addison. Ooh, Zay Flowers. I know there's some haters out there that don't like Flowers. I like him. I think he's shifty. I think he's quick. He reminds me of Steve Smith Jr. Senior. So, but all in all, I think everything is great. And I'm feeling very, very optimistic for this upcoming season. All right, something I said earlier in the video that I really wanted to expand on was some people are saying that the Ravens are overpaying for OBJ, right? And I really want to expand on this because I did work on it. I did look it up. So I just wanted to share this, right? There are 8 wide receivers in the 2023 season who will be earning more money than OBJ, right? And the projected cap hit that I think OBJ is going to be, I just set it at 13 million, right? So there are 8 receivers who will be making more than that, right? That includes DeAndre Hopkins, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Mike Evans, right? There are a couple of receivers that are making less than him, less than what I think OBJ's cap hit is, right? So Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, and DK are set to make $14 million this year, right? So with that in mind, I don't think the Ravens overpaid for OBJ at all. I think it was a ballsy move, 100% agree with that. If anybody will say that, I'll agree with them. I'll agree with them, right? But I think he's going to be 100% worth it when it comes to the end of the season. And I think he is going to hit those incentives to push him up to get that 18 million. I think he's going to work for every single penny and he's going to earn it and he's going to kick ass. That's what I think. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in and listen to my thoughts and ramblings about OBJ and the Ravens and Lamar Jackson and the fans and the front office and EDC. Thank you so much. I really appreciate every single one of you that takes the time out of your day to watch my content. It really means a lot to me. Please, please, please don't forget to share with your friends, like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to come back for more. Let's go Ravens. Adios.